China from Hong Kong. Adrian, I have to say, when I met you earlier, I was astonished to learn that you are only 16 and that you're going to share with us today a vision for sustainable business. Now, at the moment, Adrian is at the United World College, and he's also the Vice President of the Hong Kong Outstanding Students Association. And given the key role that the private sector is to play, given the motion, sharing with us your vision for sustainable business will be in line. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. So, picking up on what Christina has said and what Professor Yunus has said this morning, so the first thing I would like to ask you is, what does the word profit mean to you? And what does the word business mean to you? Well, very probably, as what Professor Yunus has said just now, this morning, like profit and business, they sort of go together hand in hand. Profit maximization means business. That's what we're told in textbooks. And that's also how the world is ran these days. Everything is driven by profit. When there's no profit, no one does it. That's sort of the mentality that most people have in the world today. Well, when you have profit, there are two things that you usually do. You maximize the price and you minimize the cost. And these two actions both lead to the similar outcome to a certain group of people, which is lower income, the lower sector in the society, which by both actions, they're still being undermined, their welfare being undermined. How? Well, by maximizing the prices, what happens is that many goods and services becomes not available to them. And by minimizing the costs, very often, they are the first group of people where wages are reduced. And therefore, both actions driven by profit actually undermines the benefit and the welfare of this group of people. Well, what I fundamentally believe, and what I believe you all fundamentally believe, would be that businesses have a responsibility to the society that it operates in, not just to profit, not just to shareholders. And I believe that there is something more than just profit, which is what I'm trying to talk about today, which is a sustainable business, something which corporations, which are not social businesses, can actually engage in and can benefit the society that they work with without making a lot of extra effort in what they're trying to do. Well, this thing will have long-lasting positive impacts on society, which I will explain why. And also, it's very practical for all businesses, not just multinational corporations, not just global businesses, but every single business. Because what I'm proposing are small steps in each and single step of the business, which together, times the scale, will make a huge impact to society and the society that they operate in. Well, let me propose a few things that companies can do in this context. So, first of all, it is to position society on par with profit as one of the chief priorities of the company. Because you have to identify the people you're serving before you actually take any action. And that is a mentality that should be changed not only in the companies, but also in the general public. And second of all, what can happen is companies provide a better working environment for its workers, and better still, if they can provide it at above the minimum requirement, but above the minimum legislation, which generally only ensures a very basic and very primitive level of living. Well, let me give you an example. Marks & Spencer in Bangladesh, what they did was to provide the workers with a wage that's higher than the legal minimum, and at the same time, send in some productivity experts. And what they found out was, by improving the productivity at the end, the productivity that's increased paid for the extra wages, which means that the whole system benefited both the company and the workers in the local society. And third of all, which is a very broad point, is a wiser management of the supply chain. What that means is companies should engage in things such as fair trade, where farmers and local producers benefit directly from the money they're paying, and supporting ethical and needy suppliers, such as in the case of ShopRite in Zambia, where they turn to local farmers instead of importing from South Africa, which significantly improved the local economy, and also trying to create jobs for the poor. So when you have a job and when you have two applicants, one of them is a lot more needy, very in need of this job, then what I propose is companies give this job to the person in need so that there is a genuine and significant change to the money that they're spending, the wage that they're spending. And also, I'm proposing that companies should integrate the changes that they're proposing. For example, while you're trying to assist local communities, don't just do it in a one-off donation. Try to make it part of your business. Try to donate what your business doesn't need to the local community, to the homeless people, to the community kitchens, rather than just make one-off donations. Because we know that one thing that's very important is to make everything sustainable. All donations are one-off. However, if you incorporate it in the business model, it is something that can be sustained. And the reason why I propose all this change is because business, for their part in the local community and the international community, are doing a very little portion in terms of poverty alleviation and addressing other social issues. And I believe that it is time for businesses to come out and address these issues with proactive actions and not just wait for government or NGOs to take the lead. And I'll end with leaving you with one thought. The theme of this year's World Economic Forum in Davos is rethink, redesign, and rebuild. So let me use these three words and leave you with some thoughts. What I would, in my idea of a sustainable business, I would call upon corporations to rethink about their roles in society, to redesign their business plan and model so that they can incorporate the change that they would want to bring to society, and to rebuild the world that we truly deserve to live in without poverty and without all these sufferings. And one last thing that I would like to call upon is to act and not to leave it to words. Thank you.